Hello my good friends, I hope you're all doing just fine. It has been a while now, hasn't it? I am wishing you first and foremost a happy new year to you and your loved ones. May it be a year filled with joy, good fortune and good health. I myself just came back from my little trip to Thailand and God, let's say that my trip changed my perspective on what to do in life. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that, are we now? No, you are here to see me get back into my famous Digimon analysis video, right? Alright, let us just do that. You know, as I haven't been making Digimon videos for a while, I kind of wanted to take it a bit easy for now. I picked a relatively simple Digimon to explain, namely Vademon. We're going to see what I'll be able to tell about it, just for me to get started. Alright, let us get into it. So it's a bit crazy, but while I did decide to take an quote-unquote easy Digimon to discuss, just to ease myself in my role as a Digimon researcher, I was surprised to find out that there is in fact so much to say about Vademon. The Digimon is actually very interesting, and that for multiple reasons. Let's start with its appearance first. What we are looking at is a humanoid Digimon with a large exposed brain that is connected to its temples by several metal tubes. It also carries a laser pistol. Looking at it like that, I wouldn't be surprised if your first thought would tell that Vademon is an extraterrestrial being. Heck, I can see some semblance with the character E.T. Can't say I'm happy to think back about the character E.T. because it did frighten me back when I was just a wee lad. But this might explain why Vademon's name is in reference to the word invader. It's based on the theory that aliens are invading or have invaded our Earth and are possibly living among us. Will we ever know the truth? I wonder. There's further proof that Vademon might be extraterrestrial, as there are some pictures where it is depicted riding a UFO, an unidentified flying object. However, despite the proof that the Digimon is extraterrestrial, there is also proof that its origins are a bit more quote-unquote humble. I'm going to ask you to look at the tips of its tentacles and fingertips. Don't you find it curious that the tips have the color green while the rest of its body is pinkish? There might be an explanation to that. You see, while Vademon is this alien Digimon shaped like something that came from the far reaches of the cosmos, there is this rumor that is spreading. A rumor which tells that it was born from the seed of a plant. And that plant is a reference to Vegimon, who sports a similar green color like on the tips of Vademon's tentacles. If the theory is correct, that would mean that Vademon in a way is an offspring of Vegimon. And you know what? Even if they may not really look alike, despite some of the physical similarities like the tentacles, you can't be fooled. Both of them grow to become intelligent life forms. I know some might be surprised when I use the word intelligence when talking about Vegimon, because it is sometimes seen throwing poop at others. So please allow me to explain what I am talking about. You see, Vegimon, while being a plant, you should look at it like a fruit. Except that it is one that is not ripened yet. Its true form, when it is ripened, is that of red Vegimon. One that is told to have high intelligence up to a point where it gained a more devious and cunning personality. Which reminds me, we did talk about Vegimon's Digivolution line in its own video. If you haven't seen it already, make sure to check it out. I will put the link towards it in the description box. Vademon has shown on multiple occasions that it is an advanced life form, or at least one with advanced intelligence. And we're going to go through some of the examples throughout the various stories. In the Digimon Adventure story, there is a Vademon who runs an area called the Universe of Spirits, otherwise known as the Universe of Sacred Mysteries. It's a pocket dimension that should be discussed in its own video because there are quite interesting aspects to it. Over there is a shop that sells the hearts that it takes from people. Vademon was in that pocket dimension with Easy, and it tried to make him give up on his worldly attachments, specifically his spirit. And Vademon appeared there as a sort of guru who wanted to lead Easy to true enlightenment through attaining cosmic power. one does need to be smart enough or witty enough to convince an intelligent human like Easy to do as pleased. And you will see, in many other stories you can see a Vademon or groups of Vademon being organized in a sort of cult-like manner, who are either doing research or performing rituals in order to bring back MILLENNIUMON, a Digimon who is arguably the most powerful in the multiverse. One who is at least a universal level threat. We discussed its abilities in its own video. Truly an amazing Digimon. Among its skills is, the master of time and pocket dimensions, so that's saying a lot. But that's why I say that Vademon is such an intelligent life form, as it is often seen doing advanced stuff. From surviving and basically ruling pocket dimensions to systematically and probably instinctively search for ways to bring back the god level Digimon MILLENNIUMON. So really quite an impressive Digimon just because of its intellect. And you know what? Even if it is hard to imagine from its overdeveloped head and octopus-like lower body, it still carries terrifying offensive power. From the beam that can be fired from its mysterious ray gun, to it making a complete fool out of the opponent by blowing them a kiss before hurling meteors and planets at them. Truly a Digimon with abilities that should maybe get explored a bit more by the developers. Speaking of, it does make sense though. It does make sense that its abilities are so mystic and hard to explain. When we look at the family it belongs to, you will quickly come to understand that its data is made of so much, and the combination of them end up leaving us with a Digimon that is hard to explain on certain fronts. For starters, it belongs to the Jungle Troopers family. Members of this field are generally insectoid or vegetation Digimon, or those who dwell in tropical areas. That's the Vegimon side in Vademon for your information. Vademon also belongs to the Metal Empire family. Members of this field consist of generally mechanical or mutated Digimon, or those who dwell in urban areas. This explains maybe why Vademon is seen using unidentified flying objects. It also belongs to the Dark Area family. Those of this family consist of generally demonic or evil Digimon, or those who dwell in the Dark Area. While Vademon does not live in the Dark Area, we do tend to find it in relatively sinister areas, such as pocket dimensions, or even the area where Vademon are organized like a sect while trying to resurrect MILLENNIUMON. To finish, there is also a part of Vademon's data that is simply unknown, meaning that it cannot be explained. A little bit like aliens themselves, it's hard to explain where they come from and whether they really do exist. Now, Vademon is an ultimate level Digimon, in case I did not yet say it, but it also has a mega level form which is just as interesting. I'm talking about Ebemon, and the way this Digimon came to be is quite interesting. Though before I tell more about the background, Ebemon was adopted from the winning entry in the Digimon Web.art contest. It's a contest where fans were encouraged to send in monochrome pixel art of their own created Digimon. Winning entries would eventually be adopted into official Digimon, well, normally. So, Ebemon is an artificially created form from a Vademon that was captured. It had its configuration data analyzed and improved. All of that in an American facility called Area 51. Speaking of Area 51, obviously in the Digimon franchise there is also an Area 51 which serves as a base used for building extraterrestrial technology, even if the truth of that base is shrouded in mystery. In real life, Area 51 is a highly secretive US military facility located in Nevada and has been the subject of much speculation and conspiracy theories. The base is primarily associated with the development and testing of experimental aircraft and weapon systems, but over the years, rumors about UFO'S, aliens, and secret government projects have fueled its mysterious reputation. Because of its classified nature, the area around it is restricted, and any unauthorized entry is prohibited, which explains the name Ebemon. Eb is an acronym for extraterrestrial biological entity. In other words, life that originates from another world rather than on Earth. Life forms who, as far as I know, has not yet been scientifically conclusively detected. Now, as Ebemon was created by Americans, it also means that there is a reason behind its creation. Can't really create something without a purpose, can we now? You see, it is said that the USA is covertly conducting research and development on Digimon in order to take possession of the digital world. And you know what? In many cases have humans tried to take over the digital world. In too many cases. For those who are curious, you can always try listening to that video of 11 hours where I tried going over the various Digimon stories. You'll quickly find out that humans can be just as dangerous as Digimon. If I can say personally, I do like Ebemon a lot. I think it belongs to one of those underrated Digimon. But you know what? Unlike many other underrated Digimon, this one, at least, has a bit more to show. It appeared in Digimon Cross Wars and was quite impressive over there. We're going to get into that in a moment. But at first, I'd like to highlight some of its skills a little bit before getting there. So Ebemon has two impressive moves. Its Crusher Bone, where it fires a cracking program into the opponent's brain with the gun it holds in its left hand and then absorbs all the data stored inside the victim's brain. The other move is called Neuro Destroyer. It's a move where it releases all of its accumulated power and fires off a shot from the gun in its right hand that is said to be able to instantly destroy a single planet. That would be one heck of a gun if it truly can destroy a single planet. But now let's get into the story. There's a reason why I explained its skills. In Digimon Cross Wars, Ebemon worked for Lilithmon, one of the 3 head officers of the Bakra army. Under the orders of Lilithmon, Ebemon was responsible for destroying the goddess's warriors. They are essentially a Digimon sect who worships a statue of a goddess who looks like a Bellstarmon. Ebemon attacked the group by using a spell that resembles its brain rupture attack, where it fires that cracking program into the opponent's brain. This caused the group to spawn a mysterious cursed mark to appear upon their foreheads and brainwashing them in the process. This made the whole goddess's warriors to get into this sort of civil war where all of them fought against each other, essentially bringing the collapse of the group as well as their town. So again, Ebemon is quite an impressive Digimon, really underrated, and I am so happy we went through it. Hi guys, this is the end of the video, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm glad I went through Vademon. I can't say it was a Digimon who intrigued me much at the first, but then when I went over it, I kind of grew interested. I'm wondering where the Digimon developers will try to take it. But quite an interesting line, definitely one I would hope will get a bit more attention like the many other Digimon out there. I admit that it does certainly feel good to be back. Been quite some time, so I need to get my rhythm back, but it should go just fine. I just need to change my organization a little bit and adjust my schedule, but it should be just fine. Alright, let me know how you think about Vademon. Write your opinions in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe for more Digimon videos, and I will see you all in the next video.